Like I feel like I have static electricity going up and down my body. It feels like my body is being pulled into my mattress. It's very painful, very uncomfortable. Then I start feeling like my back of my shoulder is being crushed, my clavicle in the back, or my scapula. And, this is typical. Get off the kitchen table, ma'am. 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 Get off the kitchen table. Whatever, she can sit there. So anyway, there was this thing on about family disowning you, and what kind of brought why I had to come on and talk is because they were talking about, just because you share the same DNA doesn't mean that you need to be their family. I mean, family is people who love you and cherish you and unconditionally, no matter what. They love you and respect you for who you are. That's love. Just because you're family doesn't mean that you need to love that person. I mean, I don't know if that makes sense. It's a really good, it was like a 15-minute thing. Some psychologist lady was talking about it. It really made me go, wow, what a great target I am. That hospital, Wellia Hospital in Mora, Minnesota, I used to be Cannabis, and I went First Light that I've worked at since 2001 to 2015. Just the bizarre things that I've had on my testimonies and things that I've done and paperwork that I have and witnesses and just their behavior there. Well, they want you to think it's my family because they know how much my family meant to me or how much family means to me. But I went, they're not my family. They're just DNA people. They just have the same DNA as I do and the same blood that I do. That's all. Because family loves you for who you are. They love and cherish you, respect you. They don't manipulate you. They don't hurt you. So I was really like, wow. I was like, that is really right on. I mean, this lady was right on. I wish I could post it on here, but I don't know how to do that stuff. But yeah, so, family is just DNA. And so I thought, it just came to me like, ta-da, what a great target I am. That hospital knew everything about me. The hospital knew everything about me. The EMS staff knew everything about me my entire life. Katie Anderson was a radiology tech. She took pictures there for a while. So it's just like, so I'm a perfect target. This hospital, no matter what they were doing, the police, all this, my family didn't talk to me. So of course they're going to use the Voice to Skull program it's your family, it's your brother, it's your sister, and they morph their voices. So they've been doing this Voice to Skull program to me for 7 years straight. It's been over 2,000 days. Could you imagine? It sucks. I get so exhausted from it because all I do is scream. Because that's all me and my ex-husband did was just scream at each other and my son. And so here is this woman going through a divorce in an abusive verbal relationship, and her family disowned her because they just lost contact. We just lost contact with each other. They lived in Wisconsin. I was so into my husband, and I had my son, and I just stopped going to the Christmases all the time and all this stuff. It just happened. And so I'm a perfect target. They're going to use my family against me in the Voice to Skull program to try to drive me crazy. So please listen to me. Really pay attention to it if you have the Voice to Skull program. Do not let them suck you in. And let me tell you, you're going to have to find some coping skills to make the V2K go away. It bounces off my furnace every time I live in continuous and continuous and continuous. My dishwasher turns on. I run my water. I run my washer. I drive my car. Any cars going by my house, it bounces off their motors. This is how sick this sociopath is that has done this to me and all these other people that are going through this. That's what they're doing to you. They are sick. So sick. And I just, they watch you. They know you. Like all of a sudden my dad didn't talk to me. He tells me to leave. My brothers and sisters all of a sudden want nothing to do with me. My friends and family, my ex-mother-in-law, all of a sudden there's all these rumors going around Mora, Minnesota about how I threatened to shoot my son with a shotgun, how I stole money from one of my dearest friends, Katie Anderson. I come back to her house because I was staying there because I was trying to get separated from my verbal abusive husband. Hey, I was no angel neither. I said some really mean things. It takes two, right? But let me tell you, at least I left. Then I was told that I slept with the deputy sheriff's husband, who is now deceased. Never happened. Then my best friend, a family friend, Graham Baldwin, said that I stole his gun. What? This was all within a month. Okay? Do you know what I kind of figured? I'm going to maybe assume a little bit, but I know I shouldn't. Well, if you got people going around telling your family stuff and friends stuff that truly know who you are, I never hurt a fly. I was one of the nicest people and I still am. But you know what? Who would they believe? An officer of the law. Probation officer, a social worker, or a doctor, wouldn't they? So if you have that hospital, that EMS staff that I knew and lived around and did things with, nurse practitioners, doctors, yeah. Who are they going to believe? My family. Well, I'm being driven crazy, didn't know what this was in 2017, living with an abusive family, have no one to go to because I've been isolated from my abusive narcissistic husband who didn't want me to have anybody. The family and your friends are going to believe authority, and they're going to believe the physicians that you worked with your entire 15 years. And you know what? There are bad cops and there are bad people. And just because they have a name behind them, other people get intimidated by it. They get intimidated by them. They put their pants on the same damn way we do. And that makes me mad. So somehow, somebody in that town, and I don't care, but please pay attention to what's going on. Don't try to sit and think of who's doing this to you, who's doing this to you, who's doing this to you. Think about how you can make a change about this and educate people on it. You could save someone's life. You could make someone have a good day just by listening to them. Don't make them any promises. Educate them. If they say they're hearing this stuff and they don't know what it is, like I thought there were speakers in my walls, for Pete's sakes. Are you kidding? Then they went around and told everybody that I pounded holes in the walls. You've all heard this if you're on here again. And, I know so many people. I have an uncle by marriage that worked in the Pentagon that retired. I have a nephew by marriage that was special ops in the Marines. I have an ex-brother-in-law who was in the Marines as a freak. I have a friend named Jimmy Kohler who was in the army over in Russia, went all around the world, that wrote this crazy book. It's all in here on Amazon. It's nuts. Thank you for letting me watch you to my ex, my daughter's father, his mother, which is her grandmother, and her uncle, Tom, Jason, and Mary Forencam. Now you tell me in their right mind. So I have all this on me. I have a friend that wrote a freaky book that's been in the military. I have an uncle that worked in the Pentagon. Use it against me. I know so many people. I used to date a Major League Baseball player. They use that. My girlfriend used to date a Denver Broncos. And when I lived in Colorado, they used that. I lived in Colorado. I've lived in St. Paul. I've lived in Osseo, Maple Grove, Circle Pines, Mora, and now Hinckley in 57 years. So they sit there by the Voice to Skull program. Go home! Karen, come home! My brother, Michael Baumhofer, was in the military doing computers in the Army. So they've used everything against me. I had a friend that I went and stayed with by the name of Kimball Radin. And he is a Marine Recon, Navy SEAL. He has special clearance to this day, and he's not in the military anymore. And they used him against me. I lived with him for 6 months. He all of a sudden found me, and they're watching you. And they know exactly who's in your life, what they're doing. They know their background, and they know all their family and friends within minutes. It's not that hard. Ben Verified. You can pay $27 a month. You can do background checks on anybody. You can get every single neighbor. When I hired a private investigator because I was worried about my son, that I wanted to make sure he was okay because he wouldn't talk to me because he lived with his dad and he's 23 years old. And this Mike from Sartell or wherever he's from again, he came up and he ran a background check on my son and ran a background check on my ex-husband. And every single neighbor was on there within a 5-mile radius. About a 1-mile radius. Every single neighbor, their address, who they were, their phone numbers. I couldn't believe it. It was 70 pages. I'm like, holy buckets. Anybody can do that. You don't need to be a private investigator. I'm like, wow. So then they have all my neighbors' names. I mean, they have really messed with me by the Voice to Skull program. And you know what? I'm a survivor. I have sent out over 50 letters. I have done testimonies with Roy. He's amazing. I'm going to do I was supposed to do a testimony with David A. on the 23rd, but I had a family emergency, so I had to cancel that. And now I have something that I'm going to be taking care of in a couple weeks. And I therefore asked him if I could wait until the end of April to do my testimony with David A. My son told me he wants me to get healthy. Well, I am trying to get healthy. I'm trying to bring awareness to this. I mailed 50 letters with a personal letter from me to my family and friends with 4 other pages from Targeted Justice Flyers. I mailed them to the hospital. I mailed them to the CEO medical director. But I didn't put that letter in there because I didn't want them to trace it back to me because, people can be really weird. It only takes 2 doctors. They couldn't lock me up anyway because I'm totally normal. But just be aware of especially this Voice to Skull program. If you have it 24/7, and you've been dealing with it for 7 years straight, boy, they will try to mess with you. And what they'll try to do, and this is the hardest thing for me, is it's like a brain entrainment. It's almost like an AI, because, there are real people that come in on this, but for the most part, because these people have normal jobs, most of them. And then it's all hooked up to like an AI. So when they start saying something, they'll keep repeating it over and over, and then my brain will start repeating it, and they try to trap you like that. You really mentally have to be strong. And when I walk certain times, like when I'm walking faster, if I'm in a hurry to go do something, or if I'm walking, whatever, they will talk to how you walk like this is your brother. Then it's just bizarre. They will even do the Voice to Skull to your heartbeat. They will do the Voice to Skull according to your mood. They know. You have to be very mentally stable and make sure that you don't remember that. They want to try to make you think you did. They like to pick on people and pick people out that have either had a DWI before. I did in 2006. I had a DWI taking the deputy sheriff's husband home. Imagine that. I only had 3 shots, but I got a DWI because I got pulled over. Oh, I know people that are state troopers too. Kevin Strand, he's retired now. We used to golf, me and his wife used to be in ladies' league. You know, it's just really bizarre. All the people I know and how they use it against me, because I know police officers, I know firefighters, Tony Hallen, Sue Hallen, nurses, firefighters. They own their own holistic business in Mora. You know, I may walk around with my head high. I try to every single day, but let me tell you, I break down multiple times a day. I break down and I cry because it hurts physically. If you are a person that has been targeted and you have endured no-touch torture or by the weapons or whatever they use, I've been dealing with it for 7 years. For 3 months, I couldn't even leave my house because, well, I did have to leave because I was trying to get a job and my ex-husband wasn't living there. I got a restraining order and made him move out. I felt like my whole house was filled with electricity. I called an electrician out, for Pete's sake. It was horrible. I mean, I'd lay on my ottoman and they would like pass me out and I would wake up drooling, curled up in a ball in the fetal position. I couldn't breathe. Everything was moving in my house. I could see it. It was that bad. I could see it with my eyes during the day and the nighttime. It was so bad, I put a wine glass full of water. I set it on my ottoman and I videotaped it, completely moving, and nothing was moving in my house. What I'm talking about, if you've been abused by the no-touch torture with broadcast, radiation, dew weapons, lasers, whatever, there's all kinds of stuff. And you have for years. If I went to another targeted person that has been tortured and they know about it and shown them my scars, they are dissecting my entire body. From my shins to my toes, to my breasts, to my sides, to my hands, to my arms. My face is destroyed. You can tell where they go around my eyebrows, on my eyelids, around my nose. My chin feels like I have little pebbles in my chin now, and it's turning purple from broadcast. Yeah, subversive awareness. I can too. I've lost most of my teeth on the bottom. I only have 4 left. And my eyesight's really bad, and I have scar tissues on the outer sides of my eyeballs from where they torture you. Yeah, my body is crooked, you know. Throughout the years, I've been taking pictures, and I know we all get older, and you know what, that's what they say. Oh, the reason why your body hurts because you have fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia, excuse me, if anybody really has this is my opinion, I have the right to my opinion, is a fake diagnosis because they don't know what's wrong with you. You just hurt all over. I mean, really. I have bone-to-bone hip. I am 57 years old. I have done nothing. Bone-to-bone hip because that's where they tortured me. All your joints, your hip, your knees, the side of my foot, like on the top of my foot, they squeeze it and they make all my toes go numb. And then it stops. You know when something's man-made and when something, that is not nerve pain. But if you went to a doctor and explained your symptoms, that's what they're going to tell you. So I don't even go because I know better. I've even had a metal test done. I told my doctor that the reason I needed the metal test done is because I eat so much fish. Yeah. And there was nothing. I did a urine test, metal test, because you want to do a toxicity report. That'll tell if you have metals in your body. You also want to check your pH too. Go to a pool. Go to Walmart, get a pool testing kit and test your pH. Try it. 6.9 is what you're supposed to be. Try it. Because some guy was saying that if you get your pH down, if you're up above 7, you have a biochip in you. Or metals. If you get your pH down for over a week to 6.8 or below, that thing will break up. That's what I was told and I seen. Do I believe it? Not really. Yeah, blurred vision. My electronics, they don't ruin my electronics, but what they do is they're blocking my YouTube videos. I've been doing YouTube videos since 2020, and you should watch them from 2020 up. How much I have prospered and grown and educated myself. Don't get into too much into it. Like continuously do different things. Look up MK Ultra. Look up DOD. I have 3-ring binders that have thousands and thousands of pages, and they are all organized about Monarch, Project Paperclip, the military, the dark web, Revenge for Hire, WBAN, WBAN. It's a system that they started to use back in 2000. Now, I started working in the hospital in 2001, where they put the main thing in your stomach. Look up WBAN. It's crazy. And a lot of stuff doesn't work for me. Like I've tried the fabric. It's $25 a yard. I would wrap it around my head. It made it worse. No, WBAN. WBAN. Look it up. It's what the hospitals use, and I worked for them 15 years. I had cancer. I had cervical cancer in 2010. I was 40 years old, and I went to Cambridge, and my dad took me there, and I had to sign this piece of paper in case they had to slice me open because it was supposed to be vaginal. I woke up sliced wide open. I mean, they go through your medical records too, so be careful. You got to be really careful. Do not believe anything the Voice to Skull program tells you. They used my son's voice. Do not believe it. And they say like a lot of this now, doesn't have to be done by being biochipped. It can be done. Yeah, the eating garlic thing, that's what David says. He says you take it, you mince, you like squeeze it, and then you let it sit for like 8 minutes. Be careful because it's toxic to cats. And you leave it for 8 minutes, and then you eat it. Yeah, I do black garlic or black organic garlic. It's so good. It's really good. But I don't do it every day like I should. But there's help out there. TargetedJustice.com. Yeah. Remote neural monitoring. Isn't that bizarre? Remote viewing. Now, like that book Jimmy Kohler wrote, Thanks for Letting Me Watch You. It's all in here. Look that up on Amazon. James Kohler, Kollar, and just read the sample of it. It's freaky. And I went to high school with this guy. It's just bizarre. And he talks about the chatterbox. Well, what's the chatterbox? V2K. Just be careful of the V2K, you guys. And what I did was to learn was I just sat there and I looked up a little bit of everything and read a little bit of everything, like on MK Ultra back in the day when they really did that. Psychologists did that to women that were going through the baby blues or whatever. He'd go to see them, and then he was using like LSD on these people, and that was MK Ultra. That was back then in the day, but MK Ultra is done now Stasi style. Like I'm living in a concentration camp, an invisible concentration camp for 7 years, being tortured. When I eat lunch, they start torturing me. That's one of their new things. When I start to eat, they torture me so I can't eat. And I go eat. I don't give in. I'm so used to the torture, it hurts. It is uncomfortable every single day. They're doing something different. Sometimes I'll do my foot and my knee at the same time. The other day, they felt like they were pulling my left breast off my body. It's bizarre. It's just what this thing does, because I wouldn't call it people. It's evil. It's a sociopath. You know? And yeah, so just really do your research. Don't get too into it. I have over 100 books. I've read all of Robert Duncan's books. I have, God rest his soul. I read all of his books. Barry Trower, he's another good one. Edward Snowden. Brian, too, is pretty good. He's really being tortured. There's just a lot of Myron May. If you don't know about it, look up Myron May on YouTube. There's 3 parts to his testimony. 2014, he was the Florida State University shooter that went in and shot them 4 people at his college. He's a lawyer, was a lawyer. He talks about this. And the media put it out, a couple of things in the media. Myron May was hearing voices, and stuff like this before, stuff like that. Because the media doesn't want to say anything about this. But look up Myron May. The second part is about he's saying his goodbyes to his family and his friends, and it puts you in tears though. But the first part and the last part are educational, but the middle part is just tear jerking. It's just tear jerking. He was saying, I'm really sorry. Basically he was going to commit suicide and to kill people to get people to notice that this is real. This was in 2014 that this guy did this. If you watch his video, he's a completely normal person. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you can tell, like, people look at me, nobody talks to me in Mora. I know over 600 people. I was one of the nicest people. I was the mom that brought the kids everywhere. I was the mom that took all the boys here. I was the mom that worked 40 hours, had a good job. Sent my daughter to Australia for the people to people in 11th grade for a month. But yet I was still not perfect. I bitched at my kids. Excuse me. God forgive me. I would holler at my kids. I'd say nasty things to them. Because my daughter and my son are 13 years apart. I haven't talked to my daughter hardly in 17 years. Why? I have no clue. I've talked to her maybe 4 times. My son is 24, and his dad put 2 orders of protections on me. Because you know why? Because the police probably allowed it, and he's probably working with the cops. Seriously. Or they went to him and lied to him and told him a bunch of crap. So he put orders of protections on me. See, this is how this works. And remind you, you can get a police officer uniform. You can get a fake FBI badge. Because believe you me, I've been to the FBI 3 times. I have a badge, a visitor's pass to prove it. Well, I don't need to prove it, but I have. They told me to leave. They didn't know what MK Ultra was when I spoke to the lady and the gentleman that came down to talk to me. We have no idea. We've never heard of MK Ultra. I'm looking at them going, you're an FBI agent for Minnesota in Brooklyn Center there? One of the main, a lot of things too that help if you have the Voice to Skull program and stuff. Sit there and talk out loud. Record yourself like I do. I'll get on my phone, I'll turn it on, record on my picture, and I'll start recording myself, and then I'll listen to it over and over while I'm getting ready and stuff like that, and it helps the Voice to Skull program. It throws them off. I bought David Case's CD, nothing against him. It made my Voice to Skull program worse. All those frequencies, they piggybacked off that. Every single frequency. I can't listen to healing frequencies, or, they have all the different frequencies you can listen to on YouTube I would try to use that to calm me down. I can't. Because they bounce off of it. They know what's going on. I've played CDs on my CD player, and they still got in it because they were bouncing off the music coming out of my speakers, which is a wave, right? When you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they really got me good. Well, they don't got me good. They think they got me good. Sometimes it's to the point where it's just so ridiculous. I mean, you would think that they would move on or just stop bugging people. You know what I mean? Like they would move on and just stop, or finally just kill me. I can't wait to go to heaven. And I know the rapture is coming soon, but I cannot wait to go to heaven. And that's one reason why I don't think they give me an instant heart attack like they did Benny Ackerman in my house. Yeah, my best man died in my living room on my floor while I wasn't there. I was at a friend's house. And the autopsy came back as a massive heart attack. A man that is 30 years old, golfs all the time, completely healthy, lifts weights, didn't do drugs. Yeah, he died of a massive heart attack. Yeah, there was an investigation on that too. It's bizarre. Yeah, that happened in my life too. Boy, they use him against me too in my B2K program. And in the beginning, when my Voice to Skull program started, it was only like one person. It was like real voices, and it was so loud. Like they were in my house, they weren't screaming. They're like, there'd be this woman that sounded like Carrie Tetnowska, which was my maid of honor, my matron of honor, my wedding. See, like when I'd be walking from the chicken coop to my house. And then I was in my shed one time, and I heard Nick Bliss coming like from where my laundry would hang, like that metal pole. Where is she? Do you see her? Where's she at? And they would, this stuff and all this stuff, these people, they voice morph them in the beginning to try to train you to get to see what you're going to do, to see what your reactions are by using people in your life and their voices. You got to be really careful. So if you're just starting to get into this stuff and this is starting to happen to you, be very careful. Be very careful. It's not your family. It's not your friends. They have probably never seen you in their life. Somebody hired them, though, probably. Yeah. Yeah, the 520. Yeah, I've listened to everything. 7+ years, and it's worse. Like if I listen to a song that's like repetitive, like the same beat, it just, and they go up a frequency higher than that. Like sometimes like a dog whistle would sound, it hurts. They will do that to my ears all day long, my right ear, to where I'm in tears. It doesn't stop for 20. I'm like, what is the reasoning for this? So I work in a place that has a bunch of, I'll say it, I work at Walmart. Okay, I was a manager there for 3 years. I just stepped down because of the fact that I need a damn break. And I'm happy for it. I'm happy that I'm taking a break and taking care of myself because I'm trying to get healthy. So now I'm up front. But I was a team lead in bakery deli for a year. Then I moved to food and consumables for a year. And then I went to meat and produce for a year. Well, let me tell you something. When you work in a deli and you got a rotisserie and you got all that crap going on in them fans, imagine what the Voice to Skull program was like. Horrible. It bounces off that so loud. All the fans, it bounces off that. So I'm continuously sitting there by all the meat and produce, and all them fans are going off, continuously moving. And it was horrible. You know, those kind of help, but you can still hear it. And then whenever it's just, yeah, it's just freaky. It's like, my brother knows computers, and I wanted to, my sister came in the store, and I'm telling him, I don't want to say out loud on this what I'm going to do, but I'm getting healthy. And legitly, I'm going to get some closure on a couple of things so I can move on. But yeah, I got to get going because I have to go to work. Having my coffee, and my cat Buffy is so naughty. Can you say mama? Yeah, my cats say mama. They're naughty though. But just listen. Just remember, a lot of people say, why is God doing this to me? It's not God. Remember, he's there, and God's got this, and you got this, okay? So, thanks. I know he is cute. She is cute, but you're not eating the suckers. No. She has a sister, too. She's Calico, and her name is Cece. Oh, they killed my dogs. Yeah, they really did. Yep. All right, y'all, I gotta go. Just remember, Do some research. Don't get like all addicted to it. Read a couple books, listen to other people's stories. That's a good thing. If you go on like Roy Eucaps, EUCAPS, he is targeted individuals. If you go on them and YouTube him, Roy, my testimony is on there from 2 years ago. He's got hundreds of testimonies. And let me tell you, that really helps too. That's pretty good therapy because you're listening to other people's stories and they're different, but they're similar. And it really helps because then you realize you're not the only one out there. And it really does help. Oh, cool. Yeah, Roy's my baby. He just called me the other day and left me a really cute message. So, all right, you have a good day. God bless. Bye, guys.